Special event alert.
I'm late because I'm still trying to rebook my Spirit flight. Which is excuse number 126 for being late for Changeover, your weekly space news and variety show. I'm your host, Marty Smith, and I'm joined by Mr. History, Eric Perrott.
Yeah, at least I wasn't late because of a dead battery.
No, that's going to be excuse number 133.
Oh, yeah.
You wasted it. You wasted it.
And our man in the closet, Jake Wall.
It's good to see you guys as always.
And the three of us are back together to bring you the latest headlines and updates pertinent to all Guardians and to the other lesser branches as well. So take your seats, get informed, and have a laugh because...
Late for Changeover. The Rockies.
Oh, there we go.
I'm going to change it once and for all. I'm going to take some time this week instead of 1 hour before we actually do the podcast. Fuck, I was supposed to change all this shit. Which I never did. So, all right. Good to see you both back. Eric's back from Florida, free state of Florida.
Tampa.
Jake's steady Eddie. But he's going to shit the bed on us here early. So we got to get going. We can't mess around. All right. So let's start it off. Hate to start it off on this way, but I've got to rest in peace. All right?
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Let me turn this down because this will be way too loud.
As long as it's not one of us, rest in peace, we'll be good.
Yeah.
Everybody yeah. Rippin' is gone.
Oh.
We don't really know if it's gone or not. But
they're just not free to U.S. military personnel anymore.
That's
overseas.
Probably what it is. So our Rest in Peace series was started off with Jake's suggestion of Rippets. So those of you who don't know, Rippets, that music's way too long.
Rest in peace, Rippets.
Rest in peace, Rippet, an energy drink that somehow found itself becoming the unofficial fuel of the U.S. military in Iraq, Afghanistan, and beyond. Although the full-size can wasn't widely available, True stuffed the half-pint-sized Rippet cans
stubbies
into their pockets by the dozen, preparing themselves for whatever came next. Did you ever have those, Eric? Rippets?
Nope, never saw them.
Yeah, they're horrible.
They were after his time.
They're horrible because Rippet is a product of the National Beverage Corporation, a company whose line of products has been described as everything from low cost to second tier.
That's appropriate.
It's very appropriate for military contractors.
This is the AAA of soft drinks, National, because it owns Shasta and Faygo, and so it owns all the cheap stuff. And then it made Rippet. And they used to give out Rippets for free. You could just
grab them at the... How much caffeine was in that mess?
A lot.
Yeah?
I don't know.
Don't scratch the surface, Eric.
I don't know if it was... Okay, here you go. 160 milligrams or more of caffeine and B vitamins.
All right. Well, Celsius has got like 200.
Yeah, but those...
But that was
little cans.
Yeah, that was for the half can. The little half pint cans.
So a bigger one was a lot more.
6 ounces.
Yeah, the only ones they gave out in the chow hall were the stubby and the grab and go were the stubbies.
Right.
And they had mostly gold flavor. Now you know how they all go by the color. Yeah. The gold and the blue, and then there was I think some red, but they
that one I just showed, I think that was the sugar-free one.
No, that's too classy for us. Yeah.
Which is kind of dumb when you're trying to have something to keep you up. And you're like,
I wonder how many heart issues occurred because of
a lot.
Yeah.
So many percentages of the VA have gone to because of Rippet.
Caffeine whooping them ass.
Yeah, exactly. It fueled so many late nights and bad decisions, sleep deprived decisions.
You ever drink a Monster, like a full strength Monster, not like the
low cal ones? Yeah.
It is kind of the gut that down, like the ginseng stuff or whatever, whatever's in it that keeps you up, and it doesn't taste great.
Yeah.
Because of all the sugar in those were just
It's a
ridiculous,
ton of
man.
shit, right? So that's how Rippets were.
Mm.
Yeah,
Imagine the Faygo version of Monster. That's what it was.
Ooh.
But you would hear people walking by sometimes because they would have like 4 cans of this shit in their cargo pocket.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Because only
Like,
this
they'd be
big,
like,
right? You just grab them, grab a handful out.
yeah. You could fit at least 4 to 6 of them in your cargo pocket easy.
Man.
So, R.I.P. to Rip It. If it's still out there, take it up, guys.
Here's to
Go
Rip
for
It.
Right. All right, let's go to the news, shall we? Since we're on a compressed timeline. Okay, I want you guys' opinion on this because remember the whole argument about Space Force and no National Guard. Remember that whole thing that went
We
on,
talked about
on,
no
on.
dirty
They were
reservists.
like, no
man.
National Guard, no.
Yeah.
And that was from the federal government. They're like, no National Guard, fuck the National Guard for space. Well, I think
we talked about it in that, like, well, what would their civilian capacity be?
Right.
Like fuels you could easily transfer over to civilian. Space, it's not that easy,
No, but you're losing all that expertise just because you're saying,
continuity.
We want one unified force. Well, I think they've quietly shifted this over to something else. And basis of this is this article from stripes.com. Space Force selects its first part-time guardians from a pool of Air Force reservists.
Yeah. Big surprise there.
Nearly 250 Air Force reservists have been selected to transfer to the Space Force this summer, becoming the service's first part-time guardians. The group includes officers enlisted, ranging in ranks from second lieutenant to colonel and staff sergeant in chief. Welcoming Air Force reservists in the Space Force is a move aimed at establishing a unified service full of full and part-time guardians instead of creating distinct active duty and reserve components. They're describing what they're doing and just not calling it reserve or guard.
Yeah, you're still going to have strife. I mean, you have strife between days and swings. Full and part-time is just going to be another one.
Yeah.
This article has the closest explanation to what that's supposed to mean, because it almost makes it sound like, hey, I don't want to be active duty this year. Can I just do 36 day or 36 whatever training days and be good? And then I can do whatever the fuck I want. And then maybe next year I'll get back into active duty.
I'll go active duty next
year. Go ahead, buddy. Let's see. In September, the Space Force opened a 38-day window for Air Force reservists in space-related career fields to apply to help fill 800 part-time slots. So they still made part-time slots.
Yeah.
That's the Manning document made it. So I just don't understand how they're describing full and part-time.
And that Manning document had to increase slots because Space Force wanted more money.
Well, yeah, it's all based on that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they get it approved. They're like, oh, look at the number of people we have. We need this much.
More slots.
Those accepting the part-time work assignments will begin transfer to Space Force this summer. They'll be known as guardians on non-sustained duty and will be required to complete at least 36 days of service each year.
That's one of the excuses that Jake's old company gave him when they wanted him to stay, go. Can't figure out what to call it.
Exactly. Non-sustained duty.
Jake,
wait, 36 days a year?
36 days a year.
Isn't that like how many?
Well, if they go on drill, if we take the traditional reserve model, right, and they go on drill, that's 14 days. Technically, right? And then 2 days a month.
Would there be any deployments in that though?
24, right? That's 24 plus that's 38. So they're doing 1 day.
It's 1 day less than what reservists are.
Yeah.
Are deployments counted separately? Different? Would they deploy?
I don't know. I think they would be on sustained duty at that point, not non-sustained duty, right?
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure when they're
Going on vacation for a long time.
when they're off duty, they can go hang out in Doha all they want, I suppose.
I was out there one of the days when they got announced all the acceptance letters for all the dirty reservists going full time, and they did literally get to fill out a dream sheet, and they're
really?
like, yeah, but funny enough, the 3 people that I talked to, none of them got anything on their dream sheet.
No, of course not.
They're like, I've been doing OPIR my whole career. They're like, cool story, bro. We need you at 4 SOPs.
That's
for command and control.
Yeah, that's screwed.
And they're like, what? So
right. So, so rather than serve as a career path like the Air Force Reserve, part-time assignments are designed to offer flexibility to guardians whose life circumstances may change.
Awfully accommodating.
What does that mean?
Awfully accommodating.
I think there's all been a number of people that we've worked with that be like, God, I wish this guy was part-time. I wish he just I only had to see him like 36 times a year. That'd be awesome.
That'd be great. Lund, you suck ass son of a bitch.
Let's non-vol him to non-sustained duty. You're still in. Don't worry, you're still in. Just not as often as like.
What is it like? Like the European soccer leagues, they're like, you go to the whole other league. But
otherwise you
suck ass.
You suck. You're going back.
You're relegated down. Get down.
Relegated. That's it.
Guess who's on non-sustained duty this month?
Yeah, sorry, buddy. Yeah, that EPR is not looking good.
That EPR is going to need to get stepped up.
Commanders determine which billets are eligible for part-time service based on mission requirements, and those positions are reviewed annually.
Whoa.
So it's not in the Manning document?
Oh,
Commanders can make that call? Oh, man. That's screwing up.
That's weird because
it's not going to be
change at the whims of a commander. That's like, why am I dealing with these freaking?
You're all gone.
January 1. Right? You'd
gone.
have some people that loved reservists, and then other people, and some commanders that would work with the program.
Right.
And then others were like, you're useless to me unless I can touch you all the time.
Space Force will be the most acidic relationship with non-sustained people.
It's not going to work. Nobody's going to want to take the time to re-accomplish this year.
It makes no sense. They're just dancing around the topic, but I don't know. I don't know why they do it. But
I wonder if that's crazy.
Just like you said, Jake, that those guys who rolled the dice and like, fine, I'll go back active duty. And they're like, guess where you're going? Vandenberg.
Thule.
What?
Vandenberg, 100% Vandenberg.
You're gonna Cavalier, baby.
Interesting one. Because if you could talk somebody is in the non-sustained up to a sustained billet, because you have those billets still.
Right.
So can you overage? If one of the non-sustained people wants to come full time, can you overage them and just do full time?
I don't know.
More money.
That last bit in there, and just to amplify what you said. Rather than serve as a career path like the Air Force Reserve, part-time assignments are designed to offer flexibility. So it's no career path. So are they saying that doing these 36 days don't count towards anything for retirement?
No, they have to count for something that is the point though too. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because reservists who fulfill all their time and retire from from reserve, they don't get their money until they're 62 or 65.
Yeah.
And so that wouldn't be like that if they're
towards a good year. Remember those days? Good year. Did you have a good year this year? I did not have a good year.
I mean, I wonder if they're still going to use the same points program towards retirement.
I don't know. Just don't call it reserve guard, I guess. Right. So I don't know. I still think it's a colossal screw up by Space Force, to be honest with you. I think it's absolutely a a screwed up thing,
I
and
wonder
it
what
doesn't
the-
need to be. I don't know what the
Yeah.
bias is. I don't.
That's what I'm curious is why is this the way they're going?
What was
you
so
know?
broken before that they were like, we're not doing that reserve or guard thing? Why not? Because I said it and now I don't want to go back on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh well. Okay, let's go to the next one. Did you guys hear? I know we talked about this before the show, but Jake, you may not have heard. Did you hear about the special forces guy who bet on getting Maduro on Polymarket?
No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
we talked about the fact that he even stepped outside and borderline classified, releasing classified information about the operation.
Well, right, but and that will be remain to be seen, right? Now, if he had classified information, we're going to go get Maduro, man. I'm putting some money down on myself. Well, because of all that whole thing, guy made $409,000.
Oh, shit.
He bet 34,000, but he made $400,000 off.
Wow.
And now the military's after him, court-martialing him, right? So because of that, now they're doing this study on how much military betting is really happening, right?
Whatever, man. Just because now the peasants get in on the fucking money and Congress isn't getting all their money on insider trading. The peasants have finally found a way to make some money off the shit they do.
It was like, we can't have these military guys.
Whoa.
That's all saved up for their aftercare. Man, we can't have them have money now. You know, what are we, Amway? Yeah,
it's a what are we, Amway?
They got to be broke and all the way till retirement. And then we'll give them some.
And then we might give them some.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, maybe we'll overpay them on a deployment.
Yeah, exactly.
This is from taskandpurpose.com. Military insiders may be betting on operations more than previously known. Right? Insiders with access to U.S. military war plans may be placing more bets on real-world operations than previously understood, a team of researchers said last week. Researchers studying betting patterns on the Polymarket prediction site found that nearly 52% of quote-unquote long shot bets placed on recent U.S. military actions were correct and paid off handsomely to unknown bettors.
So you don't have a sports bookie, you have a Department of War bookie that you go to.
Oh, yeah. I guess so.
Right?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that Polymark thing?
I just heard about it when I heard that story a couple weeks ago. So.
It's literally a gambling site, but it's gambling on real world stuff.
Right. Who's going to win the selection, that kind of thing, right?
Well, or is SpaceX going to launch above or below what they projected?
Oh, wow.
How many above or below? Or is there going to be 4 extra launches or 4?
Who's putting up the capital to pay these off? I mean, who's behind?
Right? Where's the money coming from?
Yeah, right.
You're putting money. You're putting your money down.
So they're saying enough people are betting that they've got enough to cover any bets, right?
Oh yeah, probably betting and advertising.
Wow. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's a big thing. My cousin's doing it on occasion, and him and I have talked about that. That's the only reason I knew about it, because him and I were talking about the SpaceX stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, they've been averaging 2 per week for this amount of time. I'm pretty sure the month there's no just crazy weather coming up.
So could you bet like an over under on how many they're going to put up this month?
Oh, absolutely.
Something like that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's absolutely like SpaceX is going to launch 8 launches this month. And then there's people that are betting on 7 or 6, and then there's other people, and
odds are established based on the amount of bets.
Yeah.
Well, they said military long shot bets were paying off at about 52%. Similar bets on political topics have about a 14% success rate.
Oh, not good there.
Wow.
The military. So that's why they're like, oh, there's insider information on the military.
Also, military is pretty logical about what they're not. They're not pulling off crazy ass shit for no reason.
Well, time frame.
Politics will.
Tough one,
Politics will just pull off.
Yeah, that's true.
You have no idea what's influencing any of them other than money.
That's a good point.
You know,
yeah, that's
the Sacklers. You know,
let's see. The report comes just after a week after a special forces soldier was charged with using classified information. Now, I wonder how they know that. So it'd be interesting to see how this trial comes out. But he was charged with using classified information to place bets on the special operations raid and arrest of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro in January. Master Sergeant Gannon Ken Van Dyke, prosecutors say, placed about $34,000 in bets. What's that guy doing? Where's he getting $34,000 as a master sergeant?
That's
right?
A lot of freaking tax relief pay.
Well, he placed about $34,000 in bets, meaning many different types of bets, because he'll explain how he tried to hide some of this, on the timing of U.S. operations in Venezuela through Polymarket and a second similar betting service. Van Dyke federal prosecutors allege Van Dyke was involved in the planning and execution of the raid and was aboard one of the Navy vessels at the center of it. Okay, all right. The bet paid off $409,000, and Van Dyke pleaded not guilty last week. So his trial's coming up. About $1.9 billion has been bet on military operations since 2021.
Wow, that's a buttload of money, man.
What are you betting on?
All of it.
I guess, right? The report found that the timing of trades was also suspicious, with long shot winning bets often placed immediately before a deadline.
Will Maduro be shot, or will he survive the operation?
According to the indictment of Van Dyke, the special operations soldier used several common tactics to stay anonymous as he placed his bets. He allegedly created a Polymarket account on December 26th using a private network that appeared to be based outside of the U.S. Then between December 27th and January 2nd, Van Dyke placed bets related to Maduro and Venezuela, including a bet that U.S. forces would enter Venezuela by the end of January. So he placed a lot of bets, and combined, he got paid off $409,000.
A lot of money.
So, and now they're like, "Oh, you used." But if he openly used something with classified that can threaten him or the unit,
security.
yeah, okay, yeah, put him in the clink, right? You got to do that shit. But if he's just like, I see the date that we're going, so I'm going to bet. But he never tells anybody.
I'm looking at Polymarket right now, and there's a whole section. There's politics, sports, crypto, esports, and Iran. There's a whole section on Iran, and there's dozens of bets. Straits of Hormuz traffic returns to normal by the end of April. Yes or no?
Oh, wow. Wow.
Is there a minimum amount? Is there a minimum amount to make that bet?
I don't know about the.
Oh yeah, like $2
any of the bets. Yeah.
That's in $2 and you win $300. Woohoo!
Okay, so Iran versus Iran and U.S. diplomatic meeting by ... So by May 15th, there is 23% chance on that, but it says the volume is $2.1 million of volume on that. And isn't
that even subjective? How would you know when that
my minimum bet is 23 cents or for yes or 78 cents for no.
And what's your verification of when that talk occurred? Fox News?
Dude,
CNN?
I don't know, man. Honestly.
Right.
Crazy.
I mean,
that's what it is. Yeah.
The article was talking about bets being placed, and then other people are betting the same thing, and it gets so crazy large. That's when they're like, something's going on here, right? It's like trading places with the stock market, right?
It does define what constitutes a meetings conducted indirectly, for example, through designated mediators, facilitators, acting with the known and authorized relevant government.
So it defines
will
like
qualify.
a victory or a win, right?
It defines what.
Wow. Who thought this up? Just to bet on
It's
world?
a hell of a thing.
Oh my God.
Will the Iranian regime fall by June 30th?
Wow.
The volume of trades on that are $38 million. So I don't know exactly. I'd have to look into it, but what constitutes the volumes of trades?
Huh.
But
wow, too bad we're a part of space that really doesn't do anything. Like, are they showing up for day shift tomorrow? They're like, yes, I bet 1 penny on that, and you win 2 cents,
3 cents.
Yep,
yeah,
exactly. You win 50
one
cents
get
because that's exactly it. You bet one, you get half.
Yeah. Well, did Drew make an error this week? Yes.
I
agree on that one too. All right, Eric. Interesting. We should come back to that. Maybe we should place a weekly bet on Polymark and see how we do.
Here we go. And then all
late
of
for
us
changeover betting.
Late for changeover Polymarket update.
Yeah,
that's what it would be.
We should make a bet every week, and then
the
next week
we finally have a sponsor that pays for our show.
It's us.
They pay for it with Gambler Anonymous tokens. That's what they pay for.
Well, I mean, you guys and everyone else watching the show knows we have Zippo classified information, so that we can make any money on. You know?
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. I think that's our hook. That's what we're gonna do.
Here we go.
We'll have 6 months of just like, oh, let's go watch these guys, and they're like, hey, how come those guys aren't showing up? And they're like,
well, we could talk about rest in peace on our bets after each week.
Rest
too.
in peace.
Yeah,
Barack's bet failed. Marty and Jake's paid off.
Crashed.
You know,
I think we should do that. Well, it's either that or we all got to take a video of ourselves trying to pound the trident into a piece of wood.
Oh man, that's
So you make your choice. All right. Lastly, here you go, Eric. All for you from
Let's go security forces.
Air Force Security Squadron in Alaska. It's the second Alaska story in less than 4 weeks. Creates Arctic Combat Development Course. All right. So I think the Army can go to a cold weather school.
Yeah.
And there's a tab for it, I think, too. I don't know if I'm sure the Air Force could go attend that same school. But these guys are trying to do a whole new school, right? An Air Force security team in Alaska is developing a new course focusing on operating in austere Arctic combat environments. The U.S. Air Force 673rd Security Forces Squadron at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson near Anchorage created the Arctic Combat Development Course last winter, and it hopes the Pentagon accredits it by next winter as an official course for airmen. The image of airmen in combat gear riding snowmobiles through the winter landscape around the sprawling base is eye-catching, but the planned course covers a wide variety of topics, including medical treatment in Arctic field environments, support and logistics, and weapon use, Eric. So it's not just a familiarization. Right?
Yeah, it just means they carry the weapon when they're freaking doing,
This sounds like a good idea, Ferry, of some freaking underemployed commander. He's like, you know what? We should rename the Arctic Survival Course to this.
It could be.
Will we get more funding? Maybe.
The problem is security forces' mission. It doesn't say they're going to be actively patrolling anywhere outside a base.
Yeah.
With the exception of the first layer of perimeter. So it won't be actively moving on, say, snowmobiles, snowcats outside, because the Army will still be in front of us 9 out of 10 times. That doctrine hasn't changed. That doctrine hasn't changed. And now
it's probably just surviving at your guard post. You just got to freaking not get bored and stay alive and not get frostbite.
Yeah.
That's it.
But even then, Marty, base defense doesn't require all this. So again, what kind of conflict are we going to be in now that requires us to be mobile?
I think the biggest thing for base defense is going to change is probably shooting down drones, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing.
Yep.
Because why attack
Yep.
a base like when I can fly 1,000 drones in there
Yep.
and blow the shit out of you?
Yep.
It said the base already offers Arctic resiliency training to prepare service members for working and living in a potentially hostile natural environment. The new course is meant to fill what the squadron says is a critical gap: ground combat skills in the Arctic. With increased activity from Russia and China in the waters and air around the Arctic, the U.S. military has increased its presence. That includes reactivating, stationing the Army's 11th Airborne Division. There you go. There's the Army. And expanding roles for the Air Force and Coast Guard in protecting U.S. territory and waters. The medical training includes treating hypothermia and preventing frostbite. Airmen are taught how to create a shelter in the natural environment when they cannot continue movement. Snowmobile and snow machine operations are part of the coursework, as are cross-country skiing and snowshoeing. It just
Didn't
sounds
hear
like
a
a reason
thing.
to go up
Didn't
Is
there.
it just the
Thing
mountain?
about how to save your weapon and protect it in those cold, austere conditions.
Not yet,
Because they're
but it does
freeze
say
up.
a day is
Yeah,
spent
don't
on
oil them up. They'll freeze up.
A day is spent on weapons and tactics, including cold weather maintenance and firing, small unit maneuvers using snow for cover,
That's bad.
and building
Snow
fighting
doesn't stop around.
positions, building fighting positions into frozen ground. The course has a final day of a scenario-based exercise, including a simulated combat patrol, followed by an after-action debrief.
Sounds horrible.
Sounds made up.
Exactly. That's exactly some commander got some froggy shit. He's like,
It's like, hey, Colonel Perrott, I got a great idea. Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're going to be over in, fighting China in the islands again, right? So I've come up with a water combat course. We're going to go down to Waterworld, right?
Yeah.
We're going to learn how to fight in the lazy river.
But guess what? All our tubes will be tactical.
Oh,
Yeah. And made of Kevlar.
All of
You
our
gotta-
floaties will
you
be
got to learn
tactical.
how to blow them up, lash them together for the good of the group. right?
Barbecue safety,
You know,
fire aversion.
Is it better to hold the drink with one hand and the inner tube with the other? We could get a tab out of this, sir. What do you think?
Oh,
I mean, guys, I guess for me, I like the idea of it because there could be a time when you're, I don't know,
Sure.
somewhere
Yeah,
in
that
a
makes
cold environment. I
that
get
makes
that part, but it sounds like we're wasting a whole lot of money because there's things that already exist
I know.
that provide
I
the
know.
same thing.
Well, you hit the nail on the head, Eric. It's like, what role are they going to be in where they're going to have to employ this? Especially when you got the whole 11th Airborne Corps right out there.
yeah.
So it's like, what do we do? I'm
Yeah.
like, let's get on the snowmobiles again. That was fun.
That was
Well, even then,
That was a good
okay,
time.
so you go outside your perimeter up for patrol around your installation
Yeah,
because you still have to protect your resources.
sure.
And we can teach you how to ride a snowmobile without going to the course.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're not going to get it written down on your or get a tab for that.
Well, that's the whole
all.
thing. I think that's and Jake, you hit that other part of the head is like, I think somebody came up with a good idea and they're just seeing how
I
far they can push it.
single-handedly implemented the Air Force's
Yeah.
Arctic combat course.
It's been accredited by the Pentagon.
Yeah.
And then we get people who want to go TDY to get this tab.
Now, what would you
Oh.
think the Army and the Marines would say about going to the Air Force's Arctic combat
Oh.
course?
Exactly.
The Marines would
Well,
be
Is
like,
it
now-
like isn't the
No.
Army like 5th Mountain Division like down here? Like don't they
The
already
Yeah,
Tenth-
do
the
cross
10th
country
Mountain.
skiing?
10th
10th
Mountain. Yeah, 10th
10th
Mountain.
Mountain. They already do
Um,
cross country skiing and freaking
Now, isn't
Arctic
it
survival.
right that the EOD course for all the military is taught by the Air Force? Isn't it?
I
Isn't
think-
it EOD?
I think so.
yes.
that
Explosive
like all the
ordnance? I
other
believe so.
services come over to the EOD?
Yeah.
So
I think
Wait.
they would chuckle.
wait till we get some Space Force certified courses, man.
Oh
Wait till we,
man, I can't wait.
wait till
We'll
we
be handing out tabs like fucking candy.
How to sit down at your terminal. Woo.
Yeah. Ooh, buddy, your
Activate
lumbar
your
is
radar.
not supported.
Are you not Did you not go through the Saint Gemma indoctrination? Yeah, that's
Saint
why.
Gemma
That's why
is
you're back.
Saint
not
Gemma.
happy about this.
Yeah.
All right, Jake. Before you got to go, hit us with your unheralded history, brother.
I got,
All right.
and I know we've mentioned it probably before, but briefly, I'm a big fan of the Corona Project.
Corona.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Corona Project, because Soviets shot down one of our U-2s over there.
Right.
Over there, we're spying on them. Corona Project was early on one of those things where we were taking imagery from space, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And I liked the Corona Project. It took over 800,000 images and improved the U.S. understanding of the Soviet strategic forces. So one example of that is one day we thought the assessment of the U.S. or the Soviet capabilities was 140 to 200 ICBMs deployed by 1961, right?
Yeah. That seems.
But after the early stages of the Corona Project, we got so many images and so much information that a month later, we reassessed it to 10 to 25.
Oh,
1,000?
Right? No, that's it. 10 to 25.
Oh, we thought
Yeah.
they had 100 to 150. And it was actually.
Yeah, we were going
Whoa.
ICBMs freaking, they'll have 200 by the time by this time next year. After we sent the Corona Project over multiple times, it was like they've got 10 to 25 at best, guys.
They got 2 dozen.
was Corona
Yeah.
nothing but a U-2 flyover? Was that
No, it was the first optical
Space
sensor
assets.
on a space asset. So
Got you.
they would launch. It was okay. So early on in 1961, until late 1961, all space launches were unclassified. So we had to lie to the public about it. The first Corona satellites were cloaked in disinformation as being part of the space technology development program called the Discoverer program.
Oh.
Not Discover, Discoverer.
Yeah.
Discoverer program, right?
Yeah.
To the public, Discoverer missions were scientific and engineering missions, but the film return capsules that were dropped, so they would orbit, take up a bunch of images, and then punch and deorbit their film canisters.
That's insane. Yeah.
And then the Air Force and the CIA would catch them via planes or recover them from the ocean, and then develop it and get all that image from it. But the scientific mission was kind of thin. But so to facilitate this deception, several Corona capsules were built to house monkey passengers, and many test monkeys were lost during the ground test capsule's life support system development.
Really?
So So they were like, we got to cover this up somehow. And they're like, put some monkeys in it. And they're like, oh yeah, good call. We don't have life support. And they're like, yeah, we'll figure that out.
Here comes the development of PETA right there.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So
did I hear you right? They actually sent monkeys up knowing they were going to.
They killed a bunch of monkeys testing the stuff on the ground. And then they actually were like, oh, we can't get it going. So we can't figure out what's happening. So, so after 61, at the end of 61, they were like, let's just make these launches classified. They're like, oh yeah, good call. So they were like, classified, launching, done. So the last Corona mission to bear the Discoverer name was in January 1962. So they were all just classified missions after that. They didn't even bother with going, oh, it's for science. You know,
we are going to spy on you now.
Yeah, we're getting all
it classified.
So
monkeys.
Yeah, poor monkeys, man.
Fucking Corona. Nice.
Yeah, 800,000, and it changed our whole perspective on Russian missile
Yeah.
capabilities and technology.
You know,
So-
back in my day, and maybe you guys too, wasn't there a conference called Corona?
There was a Corona conference.
Corona
Yeah,
conference. Yeah.
Was that
Yeah.
related to the operation, or is that just?
I believe that was part of that treaty where we would just, instead of spying on, well, in addition to spying on all the other countries, we invited Russia, Russian emissaries to inspect our stuff.
Yeah, I got you.
They would come out to Vandenberg on occasion, right, to inspect the missile silos and things like that.
Well, that didn't work. I tried to search Corona conference, and they're like, "Yep, 2025," and I'm like, "That's not what we're doing."
No, yeah, I think it was part of that Star Treaty.
I thought it was the
The
early
missile-
days, and then it turned into START, right?
Yeah, that's
START
it.
one
Yeah,
and
START
START
treaty,
two, or
Because
SALT.
it used to be SALT. Yeah.
Yeah, SALT.
Oh yeah,
one,
there you go.
SALT treaty.
START or something like
So I
that.
might have just made that shit up 100%. So as
But
always,
it's
to our
history now,
listeners,
baby. It's
this is
history.
pure entertainment. There's no actual facts in this. Do not scratch the surface.
I'm not going any further.
Just focus on the monkeys. We were shooting
Yep.
monkeys into space.
Yep.
No one ever
And
going to die.
A lot of them died.
Even on the ground before they
And
went.
we-
to
Yeah,
space.
before they even got to space. They're like,
We
"Oh."
strap the capsule to their hand and eject them out, and the CIA would go pick those dead monkeys
Yep,
up.
exactly. Camera.
Eric, I know you got one. Unless
I
you
do.
really want to do it, I would say hold it until next week
Okay.
so we can get Jake out of here.
Yeah,
So
man.
he can go visit his real friends. Right?
Yeah, real friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his real friends. Yeah.
I'm going to be lost without Jay.
Yeah. You'll be fine.
That was good, man. Tight 45 minutes there. I like that.
There you go.
I like it.
Quick one.
That was good. All right, fellas, let's end it. Eric, glad to be back. Jake,
Yes, sir.
thanks for moving.
Yeah,
this
good to
day.
have you back.
Yeah, I feel
And-
good about that.
And on behalf of all of us here, I'd like to thank you for listening today. Please like, share, subscribe, and let us know how we did in the comments. And next week, make sure that you are not.
Oh, beep, beep, beep,
Stop.
beep.
Perhaps I
Marty's still trying.
Oh, no, that's no good. What is all
And on that disappointment,
yeah.
Failure.
join us next week.
To everyone
on
listening and watching, what are you doing? You know, you got something better to do. But thank you for watching and listening, and we'll see you next week.
Ah.